Hmm. Okay.
I treat it like a
Um.
job. I treat it like a
So you,
job, and
okay.
when you treat your writing work like a job, a, you're more inclined to make that time.
So that makes a lot of sense. Like, actually, the next question that I was going to ask you is how do you stay focused on writing? So one of your resources is that you treat it like a job. Have you ever gotten distracted and while you were writing? And if so, how do you handle distractions while writing?
If I get distracted, I know that my brain is tired or it's time for me to refocus. So that's when I close my computer, and I enjoy classic movies. I can watch classic movies all day if I hadn't, not if I didn't have my writing. That's probably what I'd be, watching movies and relaxing as a semi-retiree. But I prefer to sit up and write instead of watch movies all day. But when I am losing focus, I'll watch a movie. I'll go take a swim. I'll read a good book, or I'll call a close friend for a chat, and that kind of re-energizes me. If I have a little writer's block, I take it off and I don't work because you can overdo it. If you're always active mentally with your writing work, and most of us creatives, I'm sure you're like this yourself, and the ladies that are online, focused on the next creative event. And we're always
Hmm.
planning. We're always thinking about what it is that we'd like to achieve in the creative. And unless keep a list, I keep a list of things that I'd like to accomplish on a daily basis. I keep files of written pieces of paper with ideas for different projects. So my goals are to at least two full writing projects a year because it's a lot of work to do one book, let alone two, outside of my regular client work. So I push myself to think that way.
Really awesome. So, so it looks like those. The next question actually was going to be, do you set goals for your writing? So you do set goals. So in addition to the two books a year that you set the goal for yourself to write along with your client work, what other types of goals do you set?
I try to set goals in work that allow me to learn about the business because our writing business changes rapidly. How we promote ourselves, uh, pitch to publishers, how we write query letters, attempting to review new PR and marketing techniques, so I can, as a solo author, get my work out into the public. And those, I have a goal every day of writing a special file that I have on my computer that's full of those articles. And I try to structure my writing around new ideas and new processes that are being presented to me from other writers who are more focused on the PR and marketing side of the business. Other
Mhm.
goals that I
Mhm.
try to set up are to go through my files of book ideas. I also am a screenwriter and a playwright, so I'm terribly terribly confined to six books where I'm constantly writing down ideas and trying to put them in those in orderly fashion so I can
Hello.
the screen. Yeah, you there? Hi.
Hi. Sorry, you were breaking up a little bit. Can you repeat
Okay,
that?
that's okay. Yes, as I was saying, I write my ideas down on paper, and I then it'll come to me a title and an idea will come as to how that might fit into a body of work. Go through my files, I'll organize that so I to at a point into its proper form, whether that's a book, screenplay, or a blog or articles, and I also have goals to pitch my work every day to at least one publisher, and I've been able to do that with a website. It's good for any writer out there. There's a website called Query, Query Tracker.com,
Mhm.
and it gives you a free list of agents and publishers to accept unsolicited work a year. So I have about 3,000 leads for free, and that helps me focus on a goal. Oh yeah, I'm going to pitch today. So those are some goals that I have.
Okay. Um, so what is your motivation for completing your goals? Like, what do you tell yourself in order to complete the goals? Is it, I need to complete this amount in order to make this amount of money, or is I need to complete this in order to benefit this cause, or what is the motivation behind completing your goals?
I think as with most creative people, we have to be productive in some creative manner, or we get depressed, or we start to push ourselves out of our creative process. So motivation for me is a constant thing. I'm motivated by what I observe. I'm motivated to write, to assist others on my blog. For example, I have a blog about service, and I want to encourage others to realize their personal best. That's a big motivation for me. And their best work out and understand how to promote their best work. And motivation to complete my own goals is that artists always have the pink cloud. Oh, maybe this will make it, maybe that'll make it. And it's not so much about the money for me. It's really about creating a beautiful body of work. And even if nobody reads it, at least it came from me and it's something I gave birth to. So that motivates me.
Okay. Um, what was your proudest accomplishment?
In writing, I think just being able to be a writer and have the time now in my life to transition from being a professional musician to being a professional writer. Because I had a lot of practice in goal setting and planning and band management and time management, transitioning from being a musician to being a writer was sort of easy in that sense. And writing is such an act of, it's a privilege to receive words. You get and receive these ideas from wherever they come from. Whether you are inspired by something outside of you or inside of you. I feel like it's a privilege to be creative and to be able to express myself verbally on paper. And in terms of being proud about my accomplishments, I think just being able to share my writing experiences with others is probably my proudest accomplishment.
So I wanted to leave the floor open for Corinne to ask a few questions. Corinne, you there?
Yes, I'm here. Hello.
Go on ahead and feel free to open the floor up with questions or thoughts or comments that you might have.
What do you think is your biggest struggle as being a writer?
Biggest struggle is trying not to compare myself to other writers who might have better accolades in their career or better opportunities in their career. And I started to detach myself from wanting to become, the next greatest. And I think when we gear our minds toward wanting to achieve something just like so and so, it can keep us from realizing our authentic work. And I'm writing from my own experiences, and I'm attempting to be as authentic as possible about my writing. So I'm really trying to stay as in a very zen place about the writing, and the writing happens, and it's again, it's like a birthing process. When you create a song or a play or a book, you are really giving life to your personal experience. And
Mhm.
sometimes I get hired to write on a specific topic, and that's okay. It's great. It's for the client. But in general, when you are doing your creative work and it's really coming from your soul, that is you know when it has to be very oriented from you. That makes
Mhm.
sense.
Yeah, that makes sense. So, do you find it harder to come up with content when you're writing for a client opposed to when you're writing for a pleasure or for a
You know, I
personal project?
my client writing, they sometimes assign me, they'll give me the title of what they want, and they'll send me some research and SEO copy, and I'll have to contrive from there. And I find that easy. But with the creative work, I can come up with a million great titles and ideas that I think might be sellable, or that other people would be interested in reading about. And I happen to be kind of an esoteric writer. I like creative fiction. I like characters that are kind of oddball. I'm not so big into like the romance novels and things like that. I like to write about people who are struggling, and everybody has certain struggles in lives, and overcome those struggles. And I think if for my own life, and having had a series of struggles in my life, and now being able to have a much smoother time in my life as an um, person who is going into the last 40 years of my life, if I write about honest to my personality, then the writing is not going to be good. So I'm really trying to stay geared toward writing about struggles of others from my own struggles and from the struggles that I witness others going through.
Mhm. Mhm.
Okay,
Um,
and thank you for the response as well.
I beg your pardon?
No, I was just thanking you for answering my
Okay.
question.
Okay.
so,
Cool. A pleasure.
so I know one thing that all writers go through that I've struggled with myself is writer's block. It's probably I like how you describe the writing process as a birthing process because sometimes it can be
Mhm.
agonizing. So, what do you do when if when you struggle or if you have struggled with writer's block?
To be honest, she taught me to just let things flow and just let things go. Keep the page and the pad and the pen available, and it will come back. Sometimes I force myself to write. It doesn't matter what it is. Just if I have a little block, I'll say, okay, I'll do some doodles, or I'll make up a crazy little song, and this will get writer's block. I've had periods where I've had amazing flow of writing. When I was, for example, with my last musical, it was like years of constant songwriting, book writing, and the flow was incredible. And you need sometimes a partner to stimulate that writing. As a solo author, I just have to keep constant, keep at it, and when the block comes, realize it's time for my mind to take a rest and to refocus, and to not be afraid to pick up the pen again and go.
Right,
And that's
right,
how I
right.
get over it.
So do you have any upcoming projects that you're planning?
I was thinking about writing a new self-help book called Master Your Universe. And I want to gear it toward women who work independently and need coaching on how to stay focused in their work, need more confidence, things of this nature. And I'm still mapping out the outline for that one. And I am, from another perspective, I'm being published in an anthology in a few months called The Heartbreak Project. And I just got word about that this week, so I'm very happy about that. and they're going to